Previously on Survivor, in the final reward challenge, Eve won a chocolate cake, but then lost any friends she had in the tribe during another endurance-based immunity challenge.
I really do not like 3 of the people that are left.
And her hostility was reciprocated when the rest of Sakutu unanimously voted against her at Tribal Council, and she became the 12th person to leave the island. Day 38 on the island and just 4 survivors remain. Decisively, the structure of their lives must now change one last time. There are now no more reward challenges. Today and tomorrow will each see an immunity challenge, followed by a tribal council, leaving just 2 survivors on day 40 to face the jury, who will decide which of them will leave the island £1 million richer. But their first thoughts this morning concern the person they voted off the island last night.
I'll just check the floorboards in the daylight.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a bottle of tomato ketchup that we were all sharing, and I know that Eve took it, put it underneath the floorboards here, and left it there to see what would happen. And it has happened. She's taken it with her out of spite. There's no other reason for it. To deprive us. I mean, she's gone. She doesn't need it. Doesn't need it at all. She could have just left that as a little bit of a perk for us. Couldn't accept defeat gracefully.
Not at all.
And say,
Never see.
sorry, I got it wrong.
Yeah. I don't think Eve has ever admitted anything she's done wrong in her entire life.
Well, she's never done anything wrong. She can hold
No,
her head up
that's
high
true.
about every single thing in her life.
Hold my head up high. Lucky she's only 5'2", because it's not that high, is it? Pop the kettle on her.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the challenge today is. Wonder how Mick will do.
I don't know.
Because I think he knows that we're going to vote for him next.
Barring a miracle today, I'll be on the jury. I cocked up the game.
You didn't cock
Well,
up.
no, I mean, I got it wrong about 2 or 3 days ago. Unbeknown to me, there were 2 alliances running, and I thought there was just one, and I joined the wrong one. It's as simple as that. So, unless I win a mute, that's why today is an extraordinarily vital day for everybody.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the 3 of us to go ahead.
So important.
I don't know if it will
We've
be
got to
though.
be waking up tomorrow morning. Here.
Yeah. I'm nervous about the forthcoming challenge. Unfortunately, still very weak, but that's one of those things that I've learned to live with for the past few weeks. So, as long as the challenge is not too physical this morning, it'll be fine.
The tide is coming in at Bird Island for an immunity challenge that is a real test. We're asking them to find their way to the centre of this island, the mud volcano. To do so, they have to orienteer through more than 2 kilometres of jungle. On the way are 3 stations where they'll pick up directions and where they'll also have to answer questions. Their goal is to find a personalised plaque hidden somewhere around the mud volcano. The person who finds their plaque in the shortest time wins immunity. Richard, there are directions.
Thank you.
You've got your compass.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Begin! All the maps and questions are identical, and to ensure they make their own way rather than following each other, I'll be starting them at 5-minute intervals. Begin! Begin. Begin. Mick, who lists orienteering among his hobbies, has strangely gone the wrong way. After 6.5 minutes, Richard reaches the first station. The first question is, what is the correct name for the tree? Banyan, rattan or mangrove?
What's the correct name of this tree? Rattan, mangrove, banyan.
He answers correctly and then follows his map to the next station. An incorrect answer would have meant 1 minute added to his time. Like Mick before her, Charlotte now goes the wrong way. Charlotte arrives at the banyan tree, in actual race terms, 4 minutes 37 seconds behind Richard. Mick's still confused, and Jackie can't seem to find her questions at the banyan tree, although she's only 3 minutes 57 seconds behind the leader, Richard. He reaches the second station after just over 15 minutes.
Question 1. What is the correct name of this tree?
What is this structure?
There are 3 choices: a disused lighthouse, a radio mast or a water tower.
A lighthouse.
Another correct answer.
Christian, what is this structure? A radio mast, a lighthouse, a gas tower, a radio mast.
It's now well over 100 degrees and they've been running with no water to reach the mud volcano, where they will find 5 cryptic clues to enable them to find their plaques hidden somewhere in the volcano's fissures. It's all about filling in the missing numbers. The clue to the number of paces to walk due east is in Joseph Heller's famous novel. The number of days of Christmas gives you the number of steps to head south. They must use the same amount of steps west as in John Buchan's famous novel. Their next clue is to turn east and take an unlucky number of paces. And finally, they must follow the fissure uphill and take as many paces as there are commandments in the Bible. Richard is on the second question. He knows the days of Christmas, but unfortunately has gone north instead of south. Charlotte is stumped by the number missing in the first question, the famous Joseph Heller novel, Catch-22. Richard has decided to cut his losses and start again.
I haven't got a clue.
With the others still struggling, Richard finally finds his plaque. He won't know if he's won until all the answers and all the times are in. Mick thinks there are 25 days in Christmas and walks too far. Charlotte is exhausted by the heat and frustrated by the questions. She admits defeat.
I think I'm too far behind to stand a chance of making it up now, so I'll retire.
All right.
Obviously my literature is not up to my navigation.
First of all, I want to congratulate you all because this was no easy challenge, approaching 100 degrees, and you all did very well. Now, Charlotte and Mick, we disregard you two. You failed to finish, I'm afraid. Of those who did finish, Jackie, you thought the lighthouse was in fact a radio mast. We add on a minute for your wrong question, so your final time was 35 minutes and 42 seconds. But well done for finishing.
Thank you.
Richard, all your questions were right. Your finishing time is 32 minutes and 7 seconds. So Richard,
Well done.
this
Well done, Rick.
belongs to you.
Definitely.
Now, if I were you, I would go and get some rest because I'm going to see you again tonight at Tribal Council. Okay.
Thanks.
Cheers. Back on the beach, one person is still very much on the minds of the tribe.
Damn, I wish Eve would have been around to see it. I might have gained a bit of respect.
She'll see it.
Don't worry, I'll mention it at Tribal Council.
Oh, cool. Will you blow my trumpet for me?
Yeah, if I get the opportunity.
Every tribal council, it just always worries me so much. I've packed fully every single
Really?
one.
Are you going to tonight?
I'll take the majority. I just
You
take.
still don't have any faith.
Of course I have faith. I don't pack fully. You know, I just take like my coat and
Things that you would really miss if you did get voted off.
yeah, there's not
So
a
you
lot
have
though.
no faith. Mind you, tonight's different because Mickey is my favourite.
Oh dear, I'm upset now.
You better pack tonight, girl.
Rice is for dinner, together with salt roasted coconut, because that's what it's down to, I'm afraid. That's it, that's all they've got. Sorry, that's all we've got. But I'm sure it'll be wonderful. I'm quite happy. I made it a lot further than I thought I might. As it happens, I think they might have a slightly difficult night voting me off, but perhaps they might feel a bit sad.
I'm glad it's us three.
And you know the best thing is the way we did it.
I know.
Everybody had got so
Well, me,
lackadaisical
yeah, I
and
was
like, this is how it's going to be, this is how we're going to vote off,
exactly.
and this is the order we're going to do it.
Zoe was so confident. She was so confident. It was unbelievable. She was telling James, "Oh yeah, she's going to be in the final."
She was the most enjoyable person to vote off, actually.
Was she?
Said, yeah.
Oh no, Eve, definitely.
No, that wasn't enjoyable. That was just left a nasty taste in your mouth.
You can't do it if you're going to be horrible like her, you can't do it if you're too nice like Pete.
But if you're a little bit nice and a little bit nasty like me, you get into the final three.
God, it'll be us three lying here tonight.
And tomorrow morning I shall arise before dawn, and I shall take my seat, and I shall go out onto my spit and watch my sunrise.
Ah,
And I shall hope it is not the last one.
it won't be.
It might be.
What's Eve going to be wearing tonight?
She'll just be sitting there with a poker face, all miserable looking.
I shall have to have a confrontation with her. Though, about last night.
I wouldn't. You'll never win. She'll never ever see anyone else's side of the story.
No, never.
I don't know.
Nasty piece of work. I wouldn't waste my breath.
Well, we'll soon see if I'm isolated by tomorrow.
You won't be isolated, Mick. You're the
No,
most
you
popular
won't be.
person on the jury.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for that.
I'm probably with at the moment my three best friends, I would think, and that's reciprocated by them as well.
Everyone likes you.
I don't know, I think you're a conniving bugger. But I love you for it. He's been the perfect charmer, he's been everybody's friend, but I think Mick's done that sort of perfect thing of being able to make friends, but quite easily broken friends. It's almost the sort of sociopathic trait that these people can make friends when they want to and then just dump them when they don't need them. And that's why he's in the last 4.
Oh, it's going to be a sad day for young and old when Mick leaves the beach.
Seeing you in your little kinky sarong.
I'll do my very best not to cry into my beer and sandwiches, all right? I wonder if Peter did.
Nah, he's a stronger man than that.
Yeah.
I should promise not to tell anybody. I told him he was going that morning.
Did you?
Because I couldn't do it to him.
Oh, well, that's good of you.
The cynic might say that I told Mick so that he goes to the jury, announces it to the jury, and look, Richard's a really nice guy, he tells his friends, but that was for Mick to help him. That even Pete was strong enough to put on a brave face and to leave, you know, without the tears. Don't tell a soul. Apart from an entire jury, yeah?
I'll influence them one little bit. I have a little plan just to lighten the mood with a bit of luck, that's all. And it revolves around the fact that on day 1 I smuggled in 4 sausages in a fairly intimate manner, and I never did find the 4th one. So tonight, as they're all hungry, I'm going to present them with the found 4th sausage. But I should add that although this is the original cling film, it has been cleaned, and what you see is actually bamboo with shark's liver oil on it and nothing else. But they don't know that. Boys and girls, did you know I'm leaving the island tonight?
Yes.
And I know you've all been fairly hungry, quite a lot, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, you know, I smuggled 4 sausages over.
Oh, you found the last
We don't want to know.
Well, you know the 4th one went missing.
Oh, right.
Okay, and I haven't been to Lou for a few days, but I went yesterday. And for you, I have the full sausage!
That is my rucksack!
Oh, I'm gonna be sick! You animal!
Mate, feed it to the rat zone, some other mermaid.
With me, I'll eat it.
Oh, thanks, darling, but no thanks on this occasion.
You know who ate it last time? Eve did, so she can have that. Thank
Yeah,
you for
take
tonight.
it for Eve, she'll probably
You've ruined my thing about why I'm voting you off. I was going to say I'm voting Mick off because it doesn't matter how hungry we were, he never admitted to finding that full sausage. You've ruined it all now, Mick.
Welcome, Sakutu. Could you place your torches in their stands and take your seats at Tribal Council? A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. Eve has left the tribe and is now on the Tribal Council jury, and Richard has won another immunity. Let's just talk about that. It's day 38, Richard. Everybody's weak. Relatively speaking, was that the toughest challenge so far, do you think?
Yeah, that was a real tough one, especially how sort of worn down we all are, the lack of rice, the lack of food, and we're a long way into it. And I think I showed that perfectly when I took a bearing south and headed straight north. So I mean, elementary mistake, and it was half an hour of some of the toughest terrain I've run through, I think.
Charlotte, you had a problem with the references to novels.
Well, the problem was I just, the first thing I saw was the author's name, and I thought, oh, I've never heard of him. If it had been Jackie Collins, it would have been great, but...
Mick, you didn't want to give up, did you?
No, I didn't. I thought the game was mine. It's one of the sports I do at home, and I was fairly quick, but I made a basic error.
Is it fair to say you needed to win it?
Oh, I desperately needed to win that immunity today. It would have guaranteed my future existence.
Jackie, were you surprised at the bitter way that Eve spoke about you last night?
No, I wasn't.
Do you think you deserved it?
No, I don't think I deserved it, and I think the feelings that the people still in the tribe had for Eve were the same, and it wasn't just me, so I feel justified in my feelings for her because I know I wasn't alone.
Richard, could you start tonight's voting?
Mick, you've played an absolutely superb game. You've had me foxed a couple of times. Unfortunately, you fell in with a bad crowd at the wrong time. Take care.
He's a really fabulous bloke, but if his sausages can't save him now, nothing can.
I knew it would be a sad day for young and old when Mick got voted off the island, but unfortunately that day has come.
Jackie, we've discussed this, so enough said. Good luck.
I'll count the votes. Jackie. Mick. 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 Mick, could you fetch your torch and bring it to the stand, please? As you know, Mick, fire represents your life on this island. Your life as part of this tribe has come to an end. Could you extinguish your flame, please? The tribe has spoken, Mick. You must leave.
Obviously, I saw this coming, but you've played such a blinding game that there was no way out for me. I congratulate you on that, and I wish each and every one of you the very best of luck, because you all deserve to be winners. Okay?
See ya.
All right. See you. Go back.
Now there are 3. In 24 hours' time there'll be just 2, one of whom will win £1 million. Tomorrow is your last immunity challenge. I think it's quite an important one. I'll see you tomorrow.
I have to admit to having a slight lump in the throat back there at the council, but I'm all right now. I blew it. That's it.
Day 39 dawns and the 3 remaining survivors know that they must face the final immunity challenge. What they don't know is that it will be at tonight's tribal council, where whoever wins immunity will effectively decide who joins them in the final 2 to contest the £1 million.
Your legs were attacked last night.
I know. I've been trying to use that repellent, but I think it almost attracts them.
I'm sure it attracts them.
And so I'm trying not to scratch them, but if I do, they're going to look as bad as my shins look. In fact, the only reason I'm not scratching these ones on the back is because I've scratched these ones to within an inch of their life and they look absolutely disgraceful. If there was a challenge on who got the most mozzie bites, I'd win it.
Everything's extremely quiet. The 2 girls strike me as being sort of relaxed, pensive and almost melancholic. Probably reflecting my own mood, really. Keep thinking to myself, this could be my last day here. Jackie and myself, we made an alliance, we've stuck to it, and it's proved to be really, really strong, and it's got us to the last 3. And no matter who we'd have brought to the last 3 with us, we'd still be in this situation. I don't think we could feel any stronger. If I win immunity, I'm going to stay true to Jackie and take Jackie forward. I think if Jackie wins it, I hope, just hope that she takes me forward. But in the back of my mind, I think that she thinks she'd stand a better chance against Charlotte. So I hope I don't get knifed right at the last minute.
If I win the challenge today, I'll take Richard through, because I have my first alliance with him. I've been loyal to Charlotte. Perhaps I would have preferred to take Mick through. Certainly he isn't as strong as Charlotte, so he may have been easier to beat, but I stayed loyal with my alliance with her. And really, when it comes down to Richard and Charlotte, I've got to stay loyal to my alliance with Richard.
I'll be sad if I have to leave tonight, because I really did want to go the whole distance, not for the money, but it just seems so important to get that last extra day.
I've decided to tell Jackie that Richard actually told Pete he was going on the day, and that Pete also told me. I knew that Richard would want to take Jackie through, and I felt that Jackie would also want to take Richard through. And at this stage you have to give yourself all the chances you can, and if Richard's lied, which he has, I feel that Jackie should know about it. Richard actually told Pete that he was going to go be voted off the island.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because Pete told me.
Right.
So Richard was able to twist it so that he looked like the good guy.
So, all this time, when Pete threw the Bible at him, it was just all an act?
Yeah, it was all an act.
And when Pete said, I wonder if Pete's forgiven me, da-da-da-da-da-da, he knew all along.
Yeah, how often has Richard been going on about it?
Yeah.
Because he wants you to think that he's disliked amongst the jury. So he's in an ideal situation. I didn't tell you till now, because if...
I don't think I can keep that quiet, Charlotte. I think I've got to talk to him about it.
He's never going to own it.
Well, if he doesn't, I think I'm going to have to say something about it. If I won the immunity, I was going to choose Rich.
Yeah.
But because he's lied to me, I'd rather choose you to go into the final two.
Well, I will choose you to go in the final two, because I know that Richard's very popular amongst the jury. And I don't think you're really unpopular, but I know that Richard has got a lot of support.
Well...
And that if either of us go through with Richard, Richard's going to win it. It's not the first proactive thing I've done. Throughout the whole game, I've been dropping subtle little comments. All it needs is one word, and you'll be amazed how people's minds start racing and worrying. So that's how I've played the game, just dropping in a word here and there. Nothing conniving, nothing too sly. Obviously things which have strengthened my position, and probably why I feel that I'm here now. Not a sausage even, Mick would say.
In the past, I've been very kind to Charlotte, not because I thought she'd be in the last three and I wanted to take her forward, but just because that was in my nature. She was down, she was in tears. Certainly at the reward challenge with the video, I felt she was the person that needed cheering up from home most. And it wasn't on my mind that she'd be in the last three, that I might need a favour from her. So if she holds true to that, she might take me forward. I think if Charlotte goes to the jury, then she's a member of Halang who will talk to Halang and say, hey, things have been great, he gave me this video, he looked after me. And also, she talks to the Ular people, then, they might get over their grievance of me actually voting them off.
Looks like today's going to be more exciting than initially anticipated.
Exactly. Things aren't what they seem. I mean, Richard's not stupid, Jack. He's built a massive favour with the jury. He's also built up favour with Halang and, James and Andy, who think he's great because he's the sporting hero. And they've said to him before, oh, we want you or Pete to win. And they knew that we really liked Pete.
Yep.
So...
But the thing is, we all really like Pete, and we all wanted to tell him, but none of us could because of that very reason. And
But wasn't it an ideal opportunity for Richard? A, he could
look the nice guy.
He could vote off Pete, who we knew would be tough competition.
Yeah.
B, he could tell Pete and look the only nice bloke there.
Yeah.
Pete would be off with Andy and James and building up Richard's favour.
Yeah.
And, Richard's got flipping majority on the jury. The problem is Richard's making too much, like he said again last night, oh, did you see the way Pete looked to me? And that really annoys me because I know that he's just trying to build you up into thinking that the jury don't like him. I've been dying to tell you that I've been waiting for the moment for ages.
It's a really, you know, I can't believe I thought that he wouldn't tell Pete.
Well, yeah.
Because it seems so obvious now.
Exactly.
Richard has played an extremely cunning game all the way through, and I don't think I've ever seen his real personality. I don't believe he's ever been himself. I believe that he went and researched the whole island experience, the likely challenges that we might have. He looked at personality profiles of which personalities would work well in what situations. I think he is very shifty and he is constantly on the alert, and anything that he can use, he will use.
So are you surprised?
I am completely surprised by that.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I've had so many conversations which I've thought have been completely honest with Rich. Because as I said to you before, nobody knows how close we've been.
Yeah.
We made our agreement on the first day, and fair enough, it could have been as flimsy as everybody else's agreement, but it just turns out that we have both stuck to it.
Yeah.
And I did have my doubts at some points, but I still ended up sticking to it. And he's obviously lied. And then he's just been an actor about all of this. Do you see the way Pete looks at me on the jury and everybody hates me and all of that nonsense?
I know.
But he just knows that he'll be laughing when if he gets into the final two.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
That's done it as far as I'm concerned.
That's why I've been paranoid every single day about going, because I thought Richard knows I know.
Yeah.
And it could jeopardise his position.
Yeah, and it has done.
And he was saying things like, oh, is Jackie getting in with Mick again?
You should have told me sooner. We could have got rid of him and kept Mick.
We couldn't have, though.
Why?
Because he's won every bloody immunity, isn't he? I would have, if that had been the case.
Yeah.
But he won every immunity.
It's so important we don't say anything until after this award.
Oh, I know.
If he wins immunity,
I know.
then it might be worth not saying anything.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't, then we'll bring it up and we won't choose him.
Yeah. Well, we got to make sure we win then, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. I'm quite pleased in a way. These little twists and turns.
Well,
adds
exactly.
a bit more
But, I mean,
excitement
he's
to it.
not here for no reason whatsoever. He's not stupid,
What a crafty little devil.
isn't he? Just.
He has played the game well, though.
He has played the game well, but so are we.
How are we doing? Cool.
We're going to go out raying in a minute, Rich, because it's quite clear.
Have you caught one yet, Jack?
I've not caught a ray. I've caught
No.
a fish.
I've not caught a ray.
We
Sadly,
haven't got any salt.
I'll go down in history as being the biggest rat collector.
He will.
Or the biggest rat.
Oh.
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 The last challenge today.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
All those days of fear I've endured.
This is the most fearful.
I know.
How do you think it would go, Rich? All the different combinations. If it was you and me, how popular do you think you are on the jury?
I think if it was you and me, I'd win. I think it was me and Charlotte, I'd win. I think it was me and the Pope, I'd win. No, I don't know. No idea. We had people psyching each other out to say, I'm not worthy, nobody's going to vote for me. You know, if it's me and you, who would vote for you? If it's me and you, who would vote for you? And it's quite obvious that people are saying, oh, they'd vote for you, they wouldn't vote for me. And it's just blatant lies.
How do you think Pete will react to you?
I don't know, actually, because like last night, I tried to look him in the eyes for the first time, because it's been quite a while since he's been in the jury. And he caught my eye and then just looked away. You know, so I thought that was a bad sign.
So do you think it would all depend on whether Pete forgave you,
Yeah.
or whether he didn't forgive you and that they biased him against you?
Well, from what I know of Pete, right, he's very naive to this game. So there he is, thinking he's been betrayed by a friend, but then in his heart he forgives somebody.
Yeah.
And then he just needs somebody to start saying, well, come on, Rich was going to get rid of you all along. He told me he was.
Yeah.
you know.
So what about if he forgave you? Do you think he would try to persuade the others that you were a good guy or not?
Pete's never been into negotiation or alliance or anything like that, has he?
Will the person who's not here tomorrow be better?
I will be missing my last sunrise, but I think that's about it, really.
And £1 million.
Well, whatever.
Richard said anything at all? Nope.
It's the waiting I can't stand.
Jackie's told me that Richard's been saying to her it must be us who gets through, because Richard knows that if he goes through with Jackie, he's probably likely to win.
Will you win immunity tonight, Jack? And we'll be sorted. Hey, yeah. How you doing? Tonight is going to be the tribal council to end all tribal councils. If I don't win immunity, I haven't got a clue which way the vote will go, and my heart rate goes up as it is, but I will sit there absolutely terrified.
As night falls, they will realise that the immunity challenge they've been waiting for all day will happen at tonight's tribal council. And for the winner, not only immunity, but the power to decide who will remain on the island with them to contest the £1 million. Welcome, Sakutu, to Tribal Council. Could you place your torches in their stands and take your seats next to the writing boards? First of all, I'd like to welcome Mick onto the Tribal Council jury. The final immunity challenge is going to take place tonight here. It's basically about what you've learned over the last 39 days about your fellow survivors and the little things perhaps that have passed you by and which may now mean the difference between £1 million or nothing. I'm going to ask you 8 questions, and for every correct answer you give, you'll get a point. The person who gets the most points wins immunity. If there is a tie, I have some sudden death questions. Once the questioning is over, we will move directly onto the vote. Okay? The first question is, who were the 2 survivors hanging from the tree in parachutes? Could you show your answers, please? Richard, Charlotte, Jane and Eve is correct. Jackie, Eve and Adrian is incorrect. What is Zoe's partner called? Show me the boards, please. They're all correct. Cindy is the right answer. What does Sakutu mean in English? Show me the boards, please. Merge, coming together, to join, merge, are all correct. How long did James stay underwater to win the reward challenge? Show me the boards, please. Charlotte, wrong. Jackie is wrong. Richard, wrong. It was in fact 1 minute 52. no points for anybody. What bad news from home did Mick receive on the island? Looks like you've written a book there, Richard. Could you show me your boards, please? All various accounts of the same story, which is the right story. His goldfish had been eaten by a heron. You all get 1 point. How many members of Sakutu, and I emphasise Sakutu, brought toothbrushes as their luxury item? Show me the boards, please. Charlotte, Jackie, 4 is correct. Richard, 2 is incorrect. In the island quiz, what did Andy think termites were commonly called? Show me the boards, please. Charlotte, white ants is wrong. Jackie, fire ants is right. Richard, red ants is wrong. 1 question to go. Richard, you have 4 points. Charlotte, you have 5 points. Jackie, you have 5 points. The last question. Name the 2 survivors who cut free the rafts on day 1. Show me the boards, please. Charlotte, Simon is wrong. Jackie, Nick and Andy is wrong. Richard, Nick and Andy is wrong. The answer was Nick and JJ. So we move to sort this out via sudden death questions. Just the 2 girls. Which football team does Pete support? Show me the boards, please. Both correct. Who was the 7th person voted off the island? Show me the boards, please. Both correct. Simon was the 7th person voted off the island. On the day we last weighed you, how much weight had Richard lost? Show me the boards, please. 29 pounds, Charlotte, is correct. Jackie, 26 is wrong. Charlotte, the immunity amulet is yours.
I'm wet.
We should now move straight to the vote. It's obviously a crucial vote because it will decide who the last 2 survivors are. Richard, could you vote first, please?
Jackie, because there's nobody else left to vote for.
I'm left to having to vote Richard off tonight.
Charlotte, you're the last to vote. I will count the votes. Richard. Jackie. Richard. Richard, could you fetch your flame and bring it to the stand, please? Richard, you know that fire represents your life on this island. Your life as part of this tribe has come to an end. Could you extinguish your flame, please? The tribe has spoken, Richard. You must leave. You too, I hope you enjoy your final day on the island together tomorrow. After sunset, you come back here, and one of you will leave the island with £1 million. I'll see you tomorrow.
I think Charlotte voted against me because we've had conversations where she said that she's sort of jealous of the immunities I've won and, you know, the performance that I've put in, and she feels that I'd be very popular with the jury. So I guess she's watching her own back really and voting for me, and I don't blame her for that one bit.
I'm voting for Richard because I feel that he's a stronger competitor than Jackie.
I think it's quite ironic that Jackie and I have been in cahoots for all this time, right from the start, and she gets a question wrong about me, but there you go. I've had a bad feeling about today since I woke up this morning.
Richard played the game of Survivor hard, compared to Mick's soft approach. But neither made the final two. Tomorrow night, hear their story. Then, on Wednesday night's live £1 million final, all 16 original survivors meet for the first time since leaving the island. And the big questions are answered. Who tampered with the fishing lines? Who stole the rice? And who will win £1 million? Survivor, the £1 million final live this Wednesday night at 8.
We were both very, very scared of the jury. You should be.